Hi angels, it's Hailey Reese, and oh boy, do I have a spooky story for you guys today. This story is one that was actually shared with me pretty recently when I met one of you guys out in public, and it's really stuck with me ever since. I've been thinking about it almost every single day. She said that I was able to share her story, but I'm also not going to say her name or give any details that are going to insinuate who it is out of respect for her, and obviously the fact that this story is so personal and so spooky and it just has a lot going on. But believe me when I say you guys are going to be creeped out by the end of this story, but also feel maybe kind of sad. I knew that I had to share it with you guys because every single day that's passed since hearing this story, not a day has gone by where I haven't thought of it. And when it's like that, I feel like it's something that I need to share. And I really want to hear your guys' opinions surrounding this story because it's unlike anything that I've personally ever heard somebody share with me as their own experience. So I was actually Christmas shopping when all of a sudden I was met by a beautiful Reese's Pieces and her small daughter. Right away she comes up to me and she's telling me how she just loves this channel and how it's really inspired her. But then she starts to go on about the fact that it's really made her believe that the paranormal isn't that terrifying and dark after all, after a really traumatizing experience around the birth of her daughter. Now, I gotta be honest with you guys, I really don't remember how old her daughter was. If I was eyeing it, I would have to say maybe around 5 or 6, but that's completely just an assumption. She didn't actually tell me how old her daughter was, but she did say that around the time of her daughter's birth, she had a horrible paranormal experience, and it wasn't until recently in watching my videos that she started to have an open mind as far as it not always being so scary. Me being the person that I am, automatically jumped on her and asked, hey, are you comfortable sharing this experience? Jumped on her. I didn't jump on her, but I jumped straight to asking her if there was any way that she'd be comfortable with talking with me about this experience and if she'd share it with me. And she said she was more than willing to share it with me, she just didn't know if I had the time, and that was when she proceeded to tell me this story. So she started to tell me that her and her husband were having issues in conceiving a child. After a couple years of trying, they decided to turn to doctors and try to get to the bottom of what was going on with her. And that was when they discovered that they had issues in fertility and that they were going to have to get pregnant utilizing IVF. So they said it was no problem. They'd actually been saving money because they kind of figured something was wrong over the past couple of years of trying and no outcome and nothing coming from it. So they proceeded their long journey of IVF and trying to get pregnant like this. She said it was very difficult for them, even through IVF, that they had a lot of moments where they thought maybe they're not supposed to be parents and really started to doubt themselves. But they continued and would eventually become pregnant with twins. 2 eggs took and they were set to have twins. So for the first trimester, she was set to have twins. She was really excited about having twins and they were just like over the moon for the whole entire thing. And the entire time she was feeling so appreciative that she was actually meant to have children and it wasn't something to do with the fact that maybe God didn't want her to have kids or maybe she wasn't meant to have them, and they were just overjoyed with the situation. Then they were hit with the devastating news that one of the babies did not make it and that they were only going to have 1 child now because one of the babies didn't get enough nutrients and passed away. Obviously, they were super devastated by this news. She actually teared up when telling me about this specific time in her life and how she had this beautiful vision of the fact that now they would have 2 children and they wouldn't have to go through IVF again because they really, really dreamt of 2 children and this was God's plan for them and they were going to have 2 in 1 shot and it was going to be amazing, and then one of the babies didn't make it and didn't pull through. Obviously, that was devastating and weighed heavily on her, and she said she kind of fell into a state of depression, but at the same time, she knew that she had to be strong for this baby because she didn't want to lose the second baby as well. So she did her absolute best to just focus on the positive aspect that she still had a healthy baby in her and that she was still thankful for this baby. Around this time, she began having nightmares about this second baby that was a baby boy that was angry at her and was dead. She said right away this child came to her and the child looked blue and angry. It wasn't a toddler, it wasn't a baby, but kept repeating, "You were supposed to be my mom. You were supposed to be my mom." And she would wake up in the middle of the night and feel this like horrible feeling over her and just feel sick to her stomach. And these dreams happened nearly every single night, but every single night this this child was getting angrier and angrier. So she went and talked to her doctor about this, and her doctor put her into contact to talk with somebody, and basically they came to the conclusion that she was dealing with guilt of having lost one of her babies, and this was just her subconscious mind really taking a toll on her, because obviously she felt guilty that she wasn't able to carry both babies to full term. After a while, her dreams completely stopped, and she thought that they were right, that it really just had been her subconscious mind dealing with the guilt of losing the baby, and she gave birth to a healthy baby girl. What was really creepy about this, though, is the day that she gave birth to her daughter, she was exhausted after giving birth and fell asleep and had her first dream in a while of that boy. And he was saying, "I hate her. You were supposed to be my mommy." And she woke up feeling so upset over this, but again, she'd just given birth to one baby when it was supposed to be two, so she figured that it was just her subconscious mind and subconscious guilt emerging because she'd just given birth to a healthy baby and was over the moon excited. She also did tell me that they didn't know the sex of the babies and that she didn't know if she really did have a boy or what it was, but it was coming to her in the form of a boy. Now, after a few months of her daughter being born and being in her life, she started to notice strange shadows in the baby monitor, to the point where they went and replaced the baby monitor because they thought that something was wrong with the baby monitor. So one day, the baby's down for a nap, she's in the kitchen with the baby monitor on the counter, a brand new one, might I add, when she hears a voice in her daughter's room that sounded identical to the boy in her dreams, and he said, "That was supposed to be my mommy." And she heard it clear as day through the baby monitor, and all of a sudden her daughter started screaming. When she went into the room, she picked up her daughter. Her daughter had scratch marks straight down her face that didn't match anything she could have done to herself. So now she's freaking out because it's starting to get physical with her daughter. So she actually called in a psychic to come to her home and talk with her. Right away, the psychic said, "You lost another baby, a baby boy." And she was like, "I don't know if it was a boy, but I did lose another baby." She said that this energy was so angry because it wanted to be her child that it was now haunting and formed an attachment to the other baby, and things were only going to get worse. So she recommended that they had to cleanse the whole house and rid the little boy's spirit out. And this devastated her because this is the spirit of her son. This is supposedly her child spirit. So to cast it away felt so wrong and made her feel like it was going to be another form of rejection and carry more guilt within her. But things just kept getting worse. She said that her daughter would get scratches and bruises and wake up screaming, and she would have these night terrors herself about this little boy. So finally they decided to cleanse the space, and she said she did it in the most respectful way possible, where she said, "I love you, but you are holding on to anger and resentment of this world, and you need to go on to eternal light, and we'll meet again someday," basically. She said ever since then, they haven't had any experiences. It's all subsided. She never dreams of a little boy, but it really scared her from the paranormal world. It really terrified her from ever wanting to know about ghosts because she couldn't understand why her spirit of her son would come in this form. And that was the story that she shared with me, and she said that ever since she started watching my channel, she kind of has this feeling of calm, that now that he's crossed on, that anger won't hold on, and that spirits aren't all that scary after all. To me, it's just so strange to hear of a story where a twin didn't want what was best for another twin and didn't want what was best for his family and didn't understand and was actually getting physical towards the other baby. I don't know what to think of that, so I really would appreciate you guys taking to the comment section below and letting me know what you guys think of her experience. Nonetheless, I could totally understand why it would have scared her away from the world of the paranormal. But with that being said, I also think that each and every experience is different. Where there's good, there's always bad. Where there's bad, there's always good. That's what keeps the world in check, and that's what keeps the world in balance. So one experience won't always be like another experience, and sometimes some scary ones can emerge. Nonetheless, I too hold faith that now that he's crossed on into eternal love, that anger and resentment isn't there, and that someday, when the time is perfectly right and they've lived long, healthy lives, all their souls will be reunited. Well, you guys, that's it for today's video. Ever since I heard that, it's kind of like stuck with me, and I've had this like strange feeling around it, so I figured why not come on here and share it with you guys. Whenever I meet you guys and you guys share your personal experiences with me, it's just wild. Like, I did a Patreon live stream a couple days ago. I do one once a week, and we were all just sharing our personal paranormal experiences, and I just love to hear your guys' experiences. It is so crazy to me, and it just makes me love this family more and more because we can all kind of give each other advice, and what one of us doesn't understand, maybe another one will, and that's what I love about this so much. If you guys are new to my channel or you are just not yet subscribed but you do enjoy my videos, make sure you go ahead and click that subscribe button. I post a ton of videos. I'm uploading every single day, so I would appreciate you joining our family here. And please give this video a big thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Remember, my loves, do all things with kindness. And until next time, I love you guys.